Hello and welcome to another The Football History Boys video on YouTube. Today we are going through London to see some of the best places of football history. Later on we're going to the National Army Museum for an amazing exhibition on women's football. But here we are outside the famous Arsenal Stadium at Highbury. The East Stand is still there and it is absolutely incredible. And we're going to try and get in and see if we can have a look around. As it happens, we managed to get a bit of luck.
We blagged our way in.
And we blagged our way in. Ground's still there. The pitch is now a communal garden. You got the full view
The overhang of the stadium still there.
Amazing, look at that. We're in the centre of the pitch now, where Thierry Henry, Dennis Bergkamp scored many famous goals. Thoughts?
That's amazing because it feels like a stadium. It's houses now and it's flats. And I think if you're an Arsenal fan, this would be the dream place to have a flat.
Yeah,
but
pretty nice flats as well, to be fair. Yeah, this is.
But it feels like a stadium. It feels like we're on a pitch of a stadium. It's really strange.
And touch the turf.
I don't think it's the original turf.
No.
Leaving Highbury, it seemed the next logical step was to take the short walk around to the Emirates Stadium, where Arsenal now play their home games.
The Arsene Wenger statue here, recently unveiled, rightly so.
Yeah.
Invincible manager. There he is.
And the only man for a long time who challenged Sir Alex, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Absolutely brilliant stadium, isn't it? It's flipping massive. Got Tony Adams just down there as well. There he is. So we had a bit of stick on our channel for putting Arsenal in only the incredible history, not untouchable. But I think when we're here, we can really feel that untouchable history. Cliff Baston there, you know, fantastic player in the 20s, 30s, 40s. And then going around, you have Tony Adams, you have Liam Brady. And the history of Arsenal is so good because it isn't just limited to a few decades. It is pretty much the entire 20th century and even into now with this current team as well. So I think if we're doing it again, we might have changed our minds.
As the rain began to pour, it was onto the Tube and down to south of the river to the Kennington Oval. Now a cricket ground, we thought there was some football history there that couldn't be missed.
I didn't think this was much, but this is actually one of the most famous spots in all of football history. This is actually the Kennington Oval cricket ground where the first ever FA Cup final was held. The FA Cup was held here until 1892, so a significant portion of the game's earliest days. Some of the game's most famous matches, including Blackburn Olympics, incredible first win for the professionals as well. It also hosts the first Ashes games, but you wouldn't think much of it looking at it. However, if you go around the front with us, you'll see an amazing view.
From the front of the old ground, you really could see the grandeur of the stadium, and we were almost let into the stadium but were denied at the very last minute. However, we decided to take a short bus ride around to Battersea Park. Why? Well, it's one of the oldest sites of the association game.
This is the next spot on our whistle-stop tour of Football London, and this is actually Battersea Park. It's not a waterlogged pitch, it's just a pond, but this is actually where the first ever FA football match took place in January 1864. Match between a team captained by the FA president and also the FA secretary. It's on 2-0 with goals scored by Charles Alcock, who would become an influential member of the FA, playing for the Wanderers and then also being in charge of the FA during its probably most influential opening period of its growth as well. We're going to go and find the plaque which commemorates the game. The left-sided problem on Twitter gave us this heads up, so we're going to go and try and find it. I hope it's not in there. Hope it's somewhere else in the park. Okay, so we found the plaque. It's over here. It commemorates from Wandsworth Council the first association football match, and it's quite amazing to think when you look out of the pitch that the game that's now played by millions, watched by billions, started off on this field here with a bunch of tops based on a little kick around. It is amazing to see. Everything that's come since is absolutely outstanding.
By now we were getting absolutely soaked, but still decided to take the walk over the Battersea Bridge and into the National Army Museum for a fantastic exhibition.
Okay, we've made it to our final destination on this whistle-stop tour of Football London, and we are at the National Army Museum for the Women in Football event. We're looking forward to seeing what we find out. We'll try and get some footage of what's inside as well, and maybe chat to people too when we're in there.
Before the event began, we were allowed special access to the Army FA archives, where archivist Hannah Tame showed us some first-hand artefacts of the old game. Minute books, photos, and included one that featured United stars Bobby Charlton and Duncan Edwards, as well as posters, clippings, and even some old kit and memorabilia. Then it was on to the women's football event, which featured an excellent panel where we were able to learn so much about the women's game. Leaving the Army Museum, and as the skies began to open, we had some more time before our bus home to Cardiff, so we took a trip over to Stamford Bridge to see what all the fuss was about.
Okay, we have had a little bit of time after the amazing exhibition at the Army Museum looking at women's football in the war, and we've actually ended up managing to get to Stamford Bridge, Chelsea's famous ground. Not just though famous for this, but also famous for hosting the FA Cup straight after the First World War from 1920 to 1922. Of course, then it was Wembley's turn in the White Horse final, and the rest, as they say, is history. However, this stadium has seen some amazing things in recent years, and as you can see on the side of the stadium, all those fantastic trophies in their trophy cabinet. Not just the men's football, but also the women's team, of course, doing incredible things at the moment. Emma Hayes leaving after winning 7 WSL titles and multiple other trophies. So yeah, never stadium to see.
You ever been here before?
Never been here before. Never thought I would be here, to be honest.
Yeah, as a Liverpool fan, a couple of times I've been here with Cardiff and we got battered, absolutely battered twice. 4-1 in the FA Cup, and I think it was 4-1 again. Hartson scored one of the best hat-tricks I've ever seen, actually. It's a nice old stadium. It's really nice.
Yeah,
it's one of the proper.
There's a lot of
old-
history inside it. It's not just limited to the modern stuff too.
Yeah, I think obviously you look at the murals there. They're big on women's football too, which is obviously where we've just come from in the National Army Museum. They really prioritise women's football too, which is great, isn't it? And integrating the murals of the players, just women and men too. I think it's good.
Right, so I think that's probably as good a place as any to finish this whistle-stop tour of London and its football history. We will hopefully be back for some more in the future. If you have any ideas, let us know where you'd like us to go and see. Thanks so much again for the National Army Museum for showing us their fantastic archives and all the amazing things that we were able to see within their walls. If you get a chance to go and see it yourself, there are more events of Football at War in, I think, July and later on in the year, to try and check them out as well. And we'll see you again for the next one very soon.